Yo, what is good? My anime people, what is good, yo? So, Sword Art and My Hero have finally dropped, and yeah, they were pretty hype. They were pretty hype. I'm gonna talk about Sword Art first because My Hero was actually a pretty huge recap with a little bit of new stuff, which was kind of disappointing, but I understand where they're coming from. I don't think it's gonna be a 12 episode season, so they got plenty of time to do as much stuff as they truly want to. But Sword Art, man, they really have Kimito out here looking messed up, bro, and it really actually hurts to like see him like that. The most like headstrong person out of everybody is completely just not there. He's just gone at heart, and it makes a lot more sense why this happens from our perspective compared to the people who are just kind of stuck there and know Kimito for what he's done and whatnot. But then you look at him like this, and you're kind of like, who is, like, what does this guy bring to the table? Like, what is so great about him? If you're anybody in this world that didn't experience, I don't need to go here yet. If you didn't experience the greatness of Kimito, and everybody here that has experienced it, we're on the wrong side of it because for some reason, and I don't know why, even though Kimito has stepped up and, fought the person that they thought was the end all be all goddess of all goddesses and whatnot, he still has saved them from a fate worse than death, seemingly, right? Like, he saves them from something that could have been really bad, and somehow they're mad at him. They want him executed and stuff like that. So, yeah, this show has a way of just creating people I want to see destroyed. And if you've seen Sword Art for a certain amount of time, they're expert at making these types of characters. People that just don't really deserve any type of help that they've gotten thus far. And yeah, I just can't stand them. So, that being said, this guy, man. So he is pretty much only out of commission because the people outside of the world have actually severed the power, thus making the thing that he's being monitored on and actually alive on, making that obsolete and making him pretty much an empty shell with no power running to him, which as a whole is much scarier than what I imagined. I thought he was literally in a coma. Like, I thought he was actually comatose after everything that happened, and he's just, really beat up about it and lost his will to fight or something. But it's even worse than that because as of now, knowing that all of the people behind this attack to get to Kimito or just to get to whatever was within the facility that they were fighting for, which I'm pretty sure it was Kimito and using his body for other experiments or something like that because he's already connected to something most people didn't think was even possible in the first place. So I don't know for sure if this is going to be one of those things where they hook him up to some type of power source that's, at least gives him the ability to be able to move his limbs and talk and whatnot. But from the perspective of the people inside, they have no idea what the heck could be going on with him, right? It's just like he's all of a sudden just come down with this uncurable disease or something. Yeah. I think it's pretty clever because, I mean, Kimito being such a prominent character and being, the main guy, the stay guy, and all this stuff, him just all of a sudden being in a position where he can't help the way that he normally would help and help, just defeat and be better than whoever is kind of like coming against him. We're now in a position to see him in the opposite role, right? Like he is completely out of it. He has no real motivation because of what has happened to him. Well, it doesn't seem like he has any motivation, but all of a sudden when these swords leave his hands, or these swords are, even being asked about, that's when he perks up, right? That's when he all of a sudden has a lot personality to show and stuff like that. So man, it hurt a ton seeing Kimito like this, and I think that's their overall goal. I think they want us to feel a lot of pain and knowing that he's like this and whatnot, but it was really clever to give us the true meaning behind it, and even giving the meaning to Alice. She just didn't understand what the heck she was looking at, right? Like, she sees a beam of light come shooting down after they're saying something about disconnecting the propeller or disconnecting the power, and the next thing you know, Kimito is out. So there's not much she could imagine is going on that's happened in their world, including after seeing, the true side of the person she's been following and training and supposedly going to protect, and all the ideals of. You see what she's capable of and what she's done, and then boom, you also get reminded that there's stuff out there that you clearly don't know about, right? Like, there's stuff that this woman could do that you had no idea about, and once she did all these things and you found out about it, there was nothing you could do about it, and Kimito could. But yeah, I don't know. It really plays a crazy role of how they're just baiting this story on the other characters of, oh, he just doesn't want to stamp up and rise and, take out his sword for us. He's doing this on purpose type of deal. Hold on. Needed to sneeze, sorry. But knowing that we're gonna get some probably craziness throughout all this, I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait. And I hope you guys can't either, because last time I checked, this show was so hype at the beginning, and I don't see them dialing it back at all. So just get ready for some ridiculousness, and hopefully whatever we get at the end of the day satisfies people, or we don't need to hear a whole bunch of, oh my god, they didn't use enough Kimito, he was in a coma, so it wasn't even that good. People want everything and some more, so I think this is a perfect time to try to show us what this whole Alicization is about and stuff. Like, she literally has her name in the title, and she hasn't done really much compared to even Kimito's right-hand man that's gone now. So it's stuff like that that makes you feel like there's still so much more story that they're going to tell, and I can't wait to see what they actually come up with, because at this point in time, I haven't seen much in this show that warrants me to be like, oh, this isn't like so-and-so is going to do this and it's going to ruin the show. Like, nothing in this show has actually shown me that they're just going to outright ruin this show in any way, shape, or form, in the case of just doing things that were very, very natural in this episode, like, try to go to the village that Kimito's been to and try to pick up residence there, to then come to find out, her father still resents her and doesn't like anything that she's become during the time of during the time she was out there and pretty much not capable of, having her memories and all that, they were erased, she was taken away by the dragon, all that stuff, he's still holding that grudge against her for doing that and being a criminal. So he doesn't want her there, but we also find out that someone doesn't mind her being there because it helps him cut down these trees that they still need to cut down, even though Kimito and the other person who cut it down aren't there anymore. It still needs to be done regardless. So we're seeing kind of what the people have been dealing with to do that right now, and they're pretty trash. So I don't know. I really do like sword art and the way that this show has been transpired, or how it's been like teased and stuff, but I feel like this is going to be a rough ride for some people that just want action and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some action next week with just the fire being set and stuff like that. But for her to jump to, oh, this must be the dark territory instantly after having someone who was pretty much ready to kill a person who isn't willing to lift up their sword even to defend themselves. As soon as he was willing to do that, my first thought was, oh, this guy set the fire. Like, no one else set the fire. This guy is really trying. He's really trying. So, I'm pretty sure it's not him. It's a safe bet that it's actually, he's not really the one who caused this, but just for all sake, just for sake of saying it, I'll be the first one to say it. I believe he could be the one that has done it, right? Just to be out there, just to put it out there. But we do see in like the opening song and all that stuff that, or the opening song and the opening credits or whatever, he is relatively helpful towards our cause in the opener song, fighting off like a bunch of people and stuff like that. So we can kind of trust him there, but at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to see how all this transpires and plays out. I'm missing a blood thing. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I'm your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely will talk to you in the next one for some My Hero. And we'll see how many videos I can get out today because, my God, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But with that being said, peace.